Hello everyone, I am Rahanuma Sharif and welcome you to the new video tutorial of Jetpack Compose series. This will be the new series and we will try to cover the advanced level of thing over the Jetpack Compose. We already have a series earlier where we look about a basic thing which is more helpful for the beginners where we cover with the very starting that how we can design the UI over the Jetpack Compose for Android development. But this will be the new series and we will cover all the advanced level of things. The first class of that series we are going to cover how we can do a proper runtime handling over the Jetpack Compose. Without wasting a lot of time, just take a look at how we can do that and how can we do that in a more standard way. So you need to create a blank project for that, which is under the inputting Jetpack Compose activity. Once you create the blank project, you need to create a class. Sorry, you need to create a Kotlin file first, which you can put the name what you want, but I'm putting it as a permission request or runtime permission. You can do anything. I'm putting is runtime permission here as a name of the Kotlin file. Here you need to create a composable function which need a composable extension, and you can put the name what you want for that function. I'm putting it as a request permission. Now you need to declare the permission you want to take. For that we are using a remember. Before doing that, you need to implement a one dependency which is here as a com.google.accompanies. If you don't aware with this dependency, I will put the dependency this video description, so you can easily copy and paste. It will the source code of this video is also you can get in a GitHub, so you can copy from there also. So let's declare the permission that we have to take, which is a remember request multiple permission. That can be declared by the help of remember multiple permission state, where we have to pass the list of permission because we are dealing with we are here for this video. We will deal with multiple permission at one time, so we can declare the list of permission here like that. You need to import the right manifest. That will the Android one dot permission dot, like we are going to take it as a camera permission. You can take any, because we are not going to use the camera or the audio what you take here. Just for demo I'm using the camera permission to the audio record. This dependency is still in experimental way, so you have to declare the annotation here. And now we also need to declare this manifest function, this runtime permission over the manifest also. Go to your manifest file and declare that permission. So we are going to use as a record audio and the camera permission. Now we need to design a button over a screen. When you click on that, then the permission pop-up should be come on a screen, and then we can take a look at how the permission handling will be done. So for that we need to create a column here. That will be the same size of the screen. So for that we are using a modifier, and the fill max size will be the good one. We also want to make it aligned with the content. Alignment should be the center for the vertically and horizontally both. For that we are going to use the horizontal arrangement and the vertical alignment. The center horizontally and the vertical alignment or the vertical arrangement will be the center. Now we are putting his button here which here we can sit on click, and now under the button we are using a text that display click here for the permission and what you want. Now for opening the pop-up of the request permission, we need to do one thing only, just need to create a permission state. So we need to save it as a variable as a permission state. Dot request launch multiple permission requests. That's it. Once you call this, whenever you click that button, the permission pop-up should be on a screen. But we also have to deal with when you click on a permission like allow, deny or do not want to appear it again. So we need to conquer this situation also. So for that we are dealing with, we need to use as a permission state here also, permission state dot permission dot for each. That means what, it doesn't matter what the length or number of permission that you want to take. In each of the case it will come here and will drop which permission is granted or the denied. And the second permission will the audio. Have a error here actually. Now that's good. So let me explain what's happening here is whenever you select any of the option, any of the option of the permission pop up, it will screen it will detect it, and once the code come here it will know that which permission you are talking about. If it's a camera, then the code will come here, and if it will be the audio, then the code will come here. Here we already know that we are into the camera permission, so now we have to deal with is that permission accepted, denied or the rationals. So for that we have option of when again, and now we do not need to pass anything here because we already know we have into the camera permission, and there we can do one thing, has permission dot. So if you have a permission, it will code come here. If not, we have to do more option for that. If the code, if there is no permission, rather it should and also not a show rational, then it must be denied for the lifetime, and you can already enable it by going the app settings. So we check it here like that. So we need to check if that permission is not granted and rather it's not rational also, then we assume that it must be denied for permanently. And if it's permanently denied, what we have to do, we can do it here. So let put a text for each condition. So when the condition occurs, which text you want to display over the screen. For that we are using a composable function text, and write a text what you want, like camera permission is accepted here because the permission granted, then the code come here. For sake of easiness, I make the video short. I'm going to copy and paste it. So two things: if the permission granted, that means user accepted the permission and they can access what they want to access. But if its permission is denied for the first time, then user will definitely not, you will not show the text for that. You need to do something like pop up or the dialogue. But for the demo and make you understand the better, the text is work. The text will also work for us. So here I'm putting a text where we said that camera permission is needed to access the camera. User will know why we are you trying to why he need to give a permission for the camera. And if it's permanently denied, then the mean that user cannot again call this permission for the pop-up and do something on the app. User need to be go in a setting and then enable from there. This will remain same for the audio section also, audio permission also. Well, you need to change with this audio because here text should be the audio. So but it's not looking a good, it's looking like a creepy tab. So for the make is a standard way, we need to create an extension function for for this, and that will be the become very standard way to write a code. So let's write an extension function. For that we are creating a class under the permission extension, like permission state extension. For that we need a, for making the extension function for any class, we need to write the name of that class. This function should return anything, so it's return the boolean. And the fullest thing that I have done, I didn't declare the function keyword here, then it will become the function. It import the permission state, and we need to declare as experimental permission API class. That means it is still an experimental way. Extend the boolean also. And here we have to return like permission state dot has permission, both are negative. That means, and we do not need to do this in this way also. And this is the extension function of a permission state class, which is you can see this is the name of the class that we put a dot, and that then I write a name of the function. This is how we can make the extension function of any class. And now we do not need to do this here, we just need to do one thing, and this is that. And that's it. Let me copy and paste it here too. This is it. Now it's time to check that what we made till now. So I'm clicking on play on an emulator again, and wait till the emulator run and show the result what we have done yet. And you can see this screen over your mobile device. Once you click on it, you can get the permission pop up like this, and this permission will be there for the record video. And either you can allow them or deny them, or deny them for always, or deny them for this time what you want. So now we are going to take a look for each condition. When you allow the permission, when you deny the permission, when you permanently deny the permission. So when you allow the permission, it should we show the on a screen that you're denying the permission, you're accepting the permission, or you are denying a rational true. So now I'm clicking on it. When you take a look of the screen, you can experience the text is all laying at the top of the screen, but it should be, as we read in the code, it should be on a center and one after the one after the one. And that is the reason is that because we are putting the button in a column only, not this all the text. For the best experience, we need to cut the code from here and put it all under the column. So you will get the scene that you want, that you expected during the code. Here it is. When you run it, you can experience the same as you expected. So now you can experience the best that you want to that you are expecting during the writing the code. Now I'm clicking here the button again. So here the pop-up come, and if you click on while using the app or deny this time or deny always. So while using the app, that means you are accepting the permission. Deny this time, that means you show the rational, and don't allow means you are denying the permission permanently. So I'm just for demo, I'm clicking on deny this time only. Then should be the show the rational here. I'm denying this time, I'm doing deny this time for both the options, and here you can experience the rational on the screen. Now assume the condition where user first allow the permission, then manually go to the settings and deny the permission. What will happen? Now we are dealing with on main activity. Now we are calling in request permission into the on create. So that means if the activity is in the background running, and then user go to the setting and manually deny the permission, the application don't know the permission is denied. So for the reason we need to call it on either on resume or on start. So whenever application comes the foreground, then it knows the application is denied and request the permission again. But the problem in our the Jetpack Compose is that whenever we try to call this, that I'm trying to call the permission on resume or on start, wherever you want, because we have our right function for that on start. So just try to call this function here, which will not get called because the composable function cannot be called from the outside a non-composable context. Here you can see the error that what I'm talking about, that composable invention can only happen from the context of the composable function, and the on resume or either the on start is not a composable function. So the way, this is not the way to do that. There is one other way to do that, and we need to use the lifecycle event observer for that. I'm just let you know that how you can do that. First of all, you need a lifecycle owner. I'm just doing a variable lifecycle owner. Dot current. This will provide the current lifecycle owner for us, and now we are going to use disposable effect, and for that we need to call a function disposable effect, which have a key, and the key will be the local lifecycle owner. The key will be the lifecycle owner, and effect will be the lifecycle owner. I'm just observer lifecycle event observer. It would be a function for it, so I can easily, here it is. And now we have to check if the event is about the start, on resume, and on pause. Where you want to call that function, you can call with the help of that lifecycle event observer. Here is all the option that you have. If you want to create it on start, on resume, you can do it here. I will call it on start, so I'm putting it here like that. And then here we can call with the help of that permission state dot launch permission dot multiple permission request. And we also need to add that observer into the lifecycle owner. Here lifecycle owner dot add observer, the observer. This observer you need to add here. And on dispose we also need to remove that observer from here. My bad, we need to call it below this. So what it will do, whenever the application comes into the on start again, when activity, the on start method of the activity got called, then it will launch the multiple permission request, and now we can call it Jetpack Compose also. In earlier days, when the legacy of the Android development was the XML, then that time we can call the function from the on resume, on start, from the activity, the activity life cycle. But we cannot do this here just because the composable function cannot be called outside the composable function scope. So that is the reason we need to add the disposable effect. But it's not a mandatory thing we always need to do. Depend on the condition that you have. If you are dealing with a permission on the start of the application, then we need to do this because user might be cancelled. This might be chance, very few chances happen of this, but there might be possibility that it will happen. So for the better and sake of easiness, on a standard way to do that and check the permission whenever user called, whenever user need to access, before the user need to access that hardware. But if you are dealing with, if you are doing the permission handling over the buttons click just before a movement where need to be hardware access, then this the disposable effect should not be done. That also we find. Let me run the code and take a look at how it's working right now. So like I'm allowing the permission here, and you can see the permission, camera permission is granted. And now I'm going to setting and manually deny the permission. For that, I'm pausing the video to make it shorter. So whenever you resume it, it will already pop up that permission is denied, and you need to access the permission if you want to hardware, if you want to use the hardware. So this is the way to do the proper runtime permission handling over the Jetpack Compose. Hope you like it. If you like the video, please do not forget to share the video, like the video, and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching, and signing off from your host Rahman Shari.